Trump has a vision of how to win, and he's gotten out there and done it. He said if there's something wrong in your life, if your life is not working, if you're under a lot of economic pressure, blame them. Blame people who don't look like you, blame people who don't sound like you, blame people who weren't born where you were born, blame people who don't worship like you. Well, I have a very different story about what's wrong. What's wrong right now is that we have a government, we have a Washington that works great for the wealthy, for the well-connected, for the people with money. It's just not working for anyone else. But in a democracy, we got a chance to change that, and that's what 2020 is.
All right, thanks so much.
Here is the irony, and I hope everybody in America knows this. We right now in Detroit, Michigan. You and I can take a walk. In 15 minutes, we'll be in Canada. In Canada, when you have major surgery, which would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in this country, in Canada, you don't take out your wallet. In Canada, you can go to any doctor you want, any hospital that you want. Meanwhile, in this country, we have over 80 million people who are either uninsured or underinsured, and that has everything to do with the fact that the drug companies and the insurance companies last year made $100 billion in profits. The function of health care is to provide quality care to all, not to see the drug companies and insurance companies make billions in profits.
You know, how are you going to go to tell people in my congressional district in Youngstown, Ohio, that they're working their rear ends off to provide health care for their families, that an undocumented person in the country is going to get free health care? That is not going to work, and it's not fair, quite frankly. The undocumented workers should be able to pay for health care. It just shouldn't be free.
Look, I'm a capitalist. I worked in the private sector for 14 years, and I believe that you need a check and balance on capitalism. But that debate is not what people are talking to me about when I'm in Michigan or in Minnesota or in Iowa or Wisconsin. They want to know what's going to happen to their mom who's going into long-term care. And that has been this big elephant in the room as everyone relitigates the Affordable Care Act. We haven't been talking about long-term care or Alzheimer's or mental health or chemical dependency. None of those things have been discussed, and I'm really going to push for them on the next vote.
I did want to get both my message out. We have to win back places we lost and not make a false distinction when a whole lot of folks often feel like these debates are disconnected from people's lives. I wanted to make sure not only did I win in a Trump state, but to be able to get things done, not just talking about it.
I will not criminally prosecute and will change the law to reflect this, anyone seeking refuge or asylum or shelter in this country. But if we rewrite this country's immigration laws, give you a safe, orderly, lawful path to work a job here or join your family, if we help those countries in Central America that are having such a hard time, then I expect you to respect our laws. And we will reserve the right to criminally prosecute those who do not follow our laws or who try to defraud the government of the United States.
No one on that stage has shown an ability to turn big ambitions into reality more than I have. So when people can't defend their positions, they say things like, well, you're not being ambitious enough. It would be like saying to John Kennedy when he called for us to put someone on the moon at the end of the century, or the end of the decade, well, you didn't call for it to happen by the end of the year, so it's not a big enough idea. I mean, it's just an intellectually dishonest response.